Good morning. Today's message is surrounding a situation where truth has been administered. It was swift. It was a heavy blow, but it was done so knowing that all hellions were going to break loose and go back and forth with each other, trying to piece together what was happening. Everyone has their own input. Everyone wants to be heard. But the truth is still lingering. It still remains. Something is over with, drastically over with. And the person who the truth is about or administered the truth is getting the hell on. They're not taking part in the compare and contrast of this story and that story and what this person perceived and what was told to this person and the inconsistencies. There are many of them, many inconsistencies, but also many people who have been involved or have tidbits of the truth. And they're trying to calculate and measure what they have in relation to the whole truth. And even some is still hidden. It's not all. Like I said, it's bits and pieces that have come together. And finally, one last blow has been given. This person already had an exit strategy. They knew that it would end their dealings with others, end a situation completely, whether that's people within a household or walking out on a job. It all starts to make sense after they depart. Emotionally, they've already left the building. They're over it. They've been over it. And it was kind of like abiding the time, knowing that everyone involved was going to feel the loss. This is vital for a transformation in this regard, whether they realize it or not. But they can only see it from their perspective. They can only see it from their point of view. What we have to do, what is left, how trying that is, how time-consuming that is, how much pressure it puts on each of us. Now we are stagnant or straggling or at a loss because this person has extracted themselves without notice. They've delivered the truth and got the fuck on, jumped in their chariot, jumped in their car, full speed ahead, while the lingering fact of this is no longer a situation, or this situation is no longer a whole the way that we considered. Now we have an empty spot, an empty slot, and having to fill this silence or fill this portion that this person provided is massive. It's going to take a little while to recalibrate, but that was something already taken into consideration. It's going back to the basics as far as instead of being responsible for 7 people or 5 people, I'm responsible for me and one other person or myself. How do I best manage this? So no one is seeing anything from the perspective of the person that's leaving. They're only looking at how it affects them personally and how it affects their end result. How they seem to have taken a failure, but the other person was emotionally tapped out, mentally tapped out, financially sapped, but they had the courage to leave a situation. And there's victory in that for this person. The victory was speaking the truth in the first place. No one sees it as a victory or courage or anything of the sort because they're too consumed with how it affects themselves, the other people involved. If it's a work situation, this person stepped down, this person stepped out. How do we fill this position? Now we have these holes in our schedule or what have you. And no one's considering the mental or emotional weight that it was bearing on the other person or how much they were actually responsible for until someone else has to fill the gap and fill the void and take on those responsibilities. And it's a measurement. It's a fine measurement. It seemed like it was down to a science. When you take out one of the variables, the experiment changes. But the person leaving the situation is happier for it. They are more confident for it. What they actually did, though it feels and seems as if they've put nails in their own coffin, they've actually resuscitated a situation. Now people have to be more resilient or more ambitious in their own pursuits and how they're going to get things done versus relying on someone they expected to get it done quickly or be determined to work towards their agenda, work towards their end goal, their quota, their sales goals, their budgets. There was a lot of anxiety about it, a lot of worry, a lot of fear, a lot of trying to gauge the next step or what was to happen next or how people would react. And those are the things that kind of kept this from happening sooner. It was a lesson for this person to not take everyone else into account, the reactions, the responsibility, because it was something that they took on as a responsibility added onto their regular everyday life. It being responsible for others or checking up on others, footing the bills, others. It was all other related. It was no me and what do I need? How am I feeling? I can't call off. If I call off, what are they going to do? Always feeling responsible for someone else and something else other than yourself. Regardless of how one's feeling, to keep thugging it out and keep pushing forward and keep going and keep going and keep going. And the shit got so redundant. It was a person nailing their own coffin shut from the inside. But there was an out. There was an exit that wasn't visible before. And it has to be a vibrational match. Once you have actually decided, or a person has actually decided, this is not it and I cannot do this. I want, I will. Those types of statements to oneself, just in a truthful manner to oneself, not sharing with others, but just stating it very clearly. Some people never speak themselves to a point of truth. They will make every excuse why the truth isn't what it is. But once a person realizes the truth, they can't unrealize it. It hits so close to home. It resonates so much in the soul that they can't defy it. They can't work work against it. They can't see beyond it or ignore it anymore. Once you see the truth, it's about the acceptance of it, and that's where it all started from. Once this person realized that they were a part of their failure, a major part of their failure, because of when they didn't speak up, because of when they didn't walk away, because of how much they were still continuing to do and to say and to provide and to help and to assist and always come in to save the day for this particular situation. Family oriented as well. Everyone's coming to me for this. Everyone's coming to me for that. The answers, everything's about to change, and I cannot account for everyone else and how they're going to manage without me. But staying in the situation will kill me slowly, but quicker than me living my own life. Me living my life for others will kill me surely quicker than my own timeline, my own hourglass, my own expiration date. So I better face this transformation, face this ending in my way before it comes for me, because it's coming for everybody else. This person is leaving unscathed because it was their choice. When you leave your will behind and you let everything in your environment make choices for you, you will get the rudest wake-up calls, which is true. And it will feel more detrimental than if you'd made the decision when you had the chance. So that's what's happening here. The swiftness with which this person is leaving the situation is immense. And it could have been passing in the family that started this, that brought this on, where it's like, well, I have nothing else to lose. You know, life is too precious. Life is too short. And if I'm going to live to the fullest, this isn't full. This isn't fulfilling. This isn't remotely close to what I consider living my best life. So I got to fucking leave. I got to get up out of here. I got to pack my shit. I got to take that chance. I got to buy that ticket. I got to leave that job. I have to leave that person, leave this family dynamic, leave this unhealthy situation that I've held on to for 5 years, 10 years, whatever, 15. I'd rather take my chances living than let this be the death of me. Spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically exhausted, not sleeping well, always worried about something. So that is coming to an end because there's a whole, oh yeah, there's a better match for your situation. Be it career, something that you'll feel more abundant in, that you have more creative control without being controlling. The environment was too controlling in the first place. And this is more free flowing and more abundant. And there's still an air of what will happen when I get there. But at this point, it's like I better take my fucking chances because I know where I've been. And I'd much rather go anywhere but there. So that is the message for today. I hope you enjoyed it.